I didn't plan on directing at all. It wasn't my thing. I wanted to challenge myself, like, Javon, this scares you, but it's going to help you. And even if you're not the best at it, you'll learn, like, okay, I understand this field and how to do this, but it's just not for me. I weighed the pros and cons of me taking this course, but also it's me facing one of my fears. In this case, it was going to help me.
So I didn't want to adapt a script because I wanted some freedom of creativity with writing it and wanted to put myself into it. So I adapted a poem instead. It's by Babette Deutsch. It's called Silence. It was Claudia's idea because I was sort of behind in her other class writing the short film and was putting all my energy into that. And she was like, take a look at some of these lists of poems that were in the public domain. And if anything speaks to you, go for it. If not, I'll give you an extension to try to come up with something. But that one I really liked.
I loved the way Simon Tobler, one of our cohort members, directed his film. I told myself, I want to learn how to do what he's doing. And that's really kind of gave me the breadcrumbs to say, okay, if there's a person that can teach me how to do this, the correct way and the right way, then I would love to immerse myself in that and learn all that I can while I'm here.
The film that I created and directed was a queer film called Never Fall in Love with a Straight Girl. The main themes of it are Black queer intimacy and bisexual visibility. I wanted it to be important to me, and as someone who was recently came out as queer, or specifically bisexual, I just know I wanted my first film to really mean something to me. I wanted to create something that I want to see. And I want to see Black people loving on each other because that's how real life is.
I really wanted to tell a story about young Black adults who are growing up in a society where there's unwritten rules about them. And then how are you going to move about getting through these quote unquote norms that people already have these ideas about you. And so with my main character, he finds himself in a situation that definitely solidifies who he is being a Black man in America. It was my way of validating, my people and, people who go through this on a daily basis.
When I was writing it, I was trying to think one location, like what are the easiest ways that I can portray this in an interesting way? How can I make this only a 2-character movie? How can I cut down a lot of the things that I had done in pre-COVID time? I wasn't on campus, I didn't have access to those people, and I knew that I needed to really limit my time on set because we had been taking care of my grandparents and my mom was particularly worried about COVID. So I was like, let me just make it easy on everybody and ask my family to help me because we're all exposed to each other every day. It'll keep me safe, and we know that we don't go anywhere. We were pretty locked down, so we'll be keeping the actors safe and Amin safe. So let's do it outside. Let's make sure that there's only 2 people, and let's make sure it's one location. And then it'll be a 1 shoot type of a day. We won't have to worry about COVID safety too much, and just make everyone's lives easier.
Yeah. So I have anxiety, and I try to use film as a form of therapy for me. And my stories kind of reflect, I guess, my feeling at that time. The biggest thing I learned was just making the film itself, is just getting off your butt and making the film. You have all these ideas in your head, and what I always tell people is I'm so clogged up creatively and it just manifests. I just have to gag reflex myself, just throw it up on a piece of paper and just get it out, because that's the only way you're gonna purge these creative ideas. So I got to get out a lot of this stuff that I've been thinking about for so long. And then you find out, okay, well, that didn't quite work, did it? But I got it out and I tried it.
I've been selected for 7 film festivals. I would always check off student, I would always check off Black, I would also check off queer. So we made a list of all of these. Oh, and my international premiere of my film will be December 13th. It will be in Italy. So yeah, so that's how it's going right now.
put yourself a budget together. And if you have your big fish that you want to go out to, then just say, hey, I'm gonna put $100 or $200 for this gold qualifier or this IMDb. I'm gonna try it out. Hey, it doesn't work. You might be able to try again with the same film next year, or you might create a different film and then try it again. You never know.